What's up, you guys? Welcome into iHeartRadio's official wrestling podcast. I'm Battle from 105.9 The Rock, of course, along with my tag team partner, Eli. And, it's not very often that I don't know what to say in an intro. Like, I always rush things or I know what I'm going to say. But today, I try not to be a fan. I have to be a journalist. But today, we have the man, the myth, the legend, WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels joins the show. Shawn, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you all very much for having me. And obviously, thank you for helping us out with Vengeance Day this Sunday.
Absolutely. And of course, Vengeance Day is coming to Clarksville for the first time ever at that brand new F&M Bank Arena. So let's kind of jump right into it. Vengeance Day, less than, a week away after this weekend's historic Royal Rumble. What is the excitement level for the NXT crew heading into this highly anticipated PLE?
Up a little bit there. I hope you can hear me. But look, obviously everybody here is very, very excited. As you say, coming off the Rumble, where NXT had some pretty good representation going out there, had a pretty big impact, which obviously we are thrilled about. But clearly, as you guys know, anytime we get the opportunity to get out of the state of Florida, get out on the road, especially with a premium live event, the young men and women here at NXT are extremely excited and ready and rip-roaring to go, to say the least. This is an opportunity for us and our young superstars to, as they say, get out and show up and show out. And they're obviously looking forward to it coming Sunday, at Vengeance Day.
Absolutely. And of course, you can still grab tickets to that show. All you have to do is go to WWE.com. Tickets starting at $20. So it's family fun for everybody.
Yeah, it is. And also at Ticketmaster.com. And I'll also say this, one of the things we wanted to do, and just look, I guess this is one of those plugs but I'd like to get in, because we know what Clarksville has been through lately. So from a tornado relief standpoint, we're partnering with Red Cross and YPAC. And again, we're just asking fans to take an opportunity with their tickets to make a donation there. And obviously, if you come to the building and you make a donation there, we're going to take a few folks back for a meet and greet with some NXT superstars. So just doing a little something to see where we can help out with some of the hardships they've had down in Clarksville as of late.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Again, Ticketmaster.com, WWE.com. Grab those tickets today.
Yeah, so one of the big matches where everyone's kind of excited for is the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Kind of the you may call it unorthodox team of Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin. A lot of people are buzzing about them. Some people are comparing them to the inaugural winners of the Classic, Samoa Joe and Finn Balor. What do you see in this team, and what has this pairing meant for both of these superstars?
Well, look, I think first again, I think it's meant a lot to both of them. I don't think anybody, it's one of those times where, I don't know, you mix oil and water, and I don't know, we didn't know. I don't think anybody knew that it was going to be as good. And I think, dare I say, as entertaining as it was going to be. And look, it's they are two very opposites, I guess, on one hand, but they do have some commonality there. So I think they're, aside from being incredibly impressive, you know what I mean? And just, very talented. I think everybody is kind of blown away by the dynamic of their personalities with one another and the way they work off of each other. I think there's I don't know, it's one of those things that every now and then when you run across people that you just have a natural chemistry with and you don't know it. That's something that Hunter and I had a long time ago, and we knew it from day one. And I think for Baron Corbin and Bron Breakker, again, I think it was something that amazed them, especially, you got Baron, who's obviously a veteran, been around a long time, coming back into NXT with a bunch of people that, this is not my generation. But that is, I don't know, kind of busts his hump in a way that's kind of amusing and challenges him. And so, again, I think it's been very enjoyable, amusing, and entertaining for a lot of us, as well as obviously being an incredibly talented and tremendous team.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And of course, you're going to be able to see that match and many more matches this Sunday, Vengeance Day, in Clarksville. Ticketmaster.com. Grab those tickets starting at $20. And you look at this card for Vengeance Day, and it's stacked from top to bottom. And another match that a lot of people are excited to see is the NXT Women's Championship, which former champ Roxanne Perez, who's a friend of the show, is challenging the current champion, Lyra Valkyrie. What are some of like the key factors for Valkyrie to retain her title, and what are the most important factors for Roxanne to dethrone the champ and become one of only 2 other women to be a 2-time NXT Women's Champion?
Yeah, well, so look, I think Lyra Valkyria, I think she's been an impressive champion. I think it's somebody who I think came in from the UK. It's sort of like a slow burn with Lyra. I think over time people began to really appreciate her ability, her skill, and I think obviously her running across Becky Lynch was huge for her and her career. And I can say, look, someone that when you come in and you have a time where you're trying to come into your own, but you're also sort of dealing with people that you looked up to. It's a different dynamic than what you're used to. You have a respect, and you also, again, whether it be fanboy or fangirling, you have this admiration that you had when you were younger for these people, but now you believe it's your time. And I think it's been a great growth, process to watch in Lyra as she's gone through that with Becky and now coming into her own as a champion. And then on the other side, you've got Roxanne Perez, someone who, again, 2 very young women who are very talented and have had great success at a very young age. And how do you deal with that? And also Roxanne having to deal with so many ups and downs in a young career. I think that's what I think when everything is said and done, one of the things that I really enjoy and fascinates me about NXT is you're talking about incredibly young people. I mean, maybe an average age of 24 years old sometimes. And again, so many of the ups and downs, the wins and the losses, the heartbreaks and the victories that they have to deal with along this, and all manage that on a national level and a global level very early on in their careers. It's a great deal of pressure, to be under as you're going out there. And that's something that Roxanne has faced a great deal of here in the last year. You can see it coming out every Tuesday night on the USA Network on our show. Roxanne, she's starting to show a different side of herself, a side that's getting a little less patient, not so much the sweet girl next door. So again, for me, that's what I'm excited about Sunday at Vengeance Day, to watch these 2. One, yes, she's a champion, but she really feels like she's got something to prove. And somebody else, very young, but never lost her championship. She's been a champion here at NXT at 20 years old. She's never lost it, and now she's got a chance to regain it. So this is one that I think is going to boil up and be something to make sure you keep an eye on, because I think it's going to be something big come Sunday.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's kind of strange to think about how young some of these superstars are. You know what I mean? Like Roxanne winning the title at 20, you're like, what? And obviously living up to the name of the Prodigy. So that kind of jumps into the next question. So another match a lot of people are looking forward to is the rematch for the NXT North American Championship. Dragon Lee versus, I guess we can call him a phenom, Oba Femi. Femi appears to have all the tools it takes to have a long career as a WWE superstar. Kind of piggybacking off what you were just discussing, what are the challenges of guiding the career of someone who's so young and has so much natural power and abilities in the machine known as the WWE?
Sure. Well, look, I'll tell you what, one of the things that I think that people can see now that's been a proven success is the NIL program. And obviously, reaching out to these young men and women on a college level. And Oba is a guy that is, won not just his background, but he's had a great deal of success in his youth and in his college years, which strangely enough has kind of prepared him for this. It's amazing how incredibly well-spoken and well-mannered and just, I don't know, he's so much more experienced than his age you would think lends itself to. But he's a very, I don't know, as we all say, he's a very complete young man. And I think everybody sees the promise in him as not just an NXT superstar, but a future WWE superstar. You can just see it by the way he carries himself. And I have to, again, he would obviously know better than me, but I have to attribute that a lot of times to, again, some of the success that they had in college and at the collegiate level that has kind of prepared them. And look, a lot of these, young men and women, they have been, successes at a very young age, and people have been sort of courting them and coming after them since they were young, and so in high school. And so I think that better prepares them for a world, again, like NXT and the WWE. But I think the future is incredibly bright for him. But obviously, he's got the former North American champion Dragon Lee from SmackDown wanting his title back. So I think that'll be something, again, that'll be very exciting to watch this Sunday, Vengeance Day. But I will say, I can't lie when I say that, again, Oba Femi has got all those tools that I think everybody can easily look at him and go like, oh, yeah, I see him being on the main roster someday and easily being a part of a WrestleMania not too far down the line.
Right. And you talk about people that you could see down the line at a WrestleMania being on the main roster. Somebody that, in the last 6 to 8 months stepped out of the shadow of Carmelo Hayes. You've got Trick out there, Trick Williams, who is going against Ilja Dragunov, for the NXT Championship. How awesome is to see somebody like Trick kind of, step out of the shadows of Carmelo? And what do you think this match is going to do for him? Let's say if he wins and beats Dragunov.
Sure. Well, look, I think you can argue what it's already done for him is something. I think everybody sees that. It's palpable every Tuesday night on USA. Mm-hmm. You see it when he comes out. But look, when everything is said and done, the reason I do this job is again, for somebody like, for Trick and Mello. So on two different levels, one to come from our collegiate standpoint, and then the other to come from, again, a very smaller and shorter independent reign. But both of them step out and become these two incredibly talented young men. And again, form this duo that is easily one of the hottest things that NXT has ever seen. But then you watch Trick, again, somebody that, I can remember him coming up to me and saying, I don't know any other way to tell you this, and I want the ball. Give me my opportunity. And then to watch him do that and to get to be a part of it. I don't know, again, to help guide and nurture along the way has just been a sheer joy, for me, to the both of them. But again, I think what makes Trix obviously also so special is that you see him where he started from as being, Carmelo, who everyone could see had that talent, had that ability, had that gift. But then you watch Trick to step out of the, sort of the shadow of Carmelo Hayes and begin to, again, start something that's almost, like a groundswell that we haven't seen before. And again, it's when it happens from the very beginning, it's ever organic. And you watch it just get bigger and bigger, and even shades of it getting bigger and bigger when you see him run out on SmackDown and listen to the whole arena chanting "Whoop that Trick." That's when you know that again, that it's something, even bigger than I think he imagined. So it really is. It's the reason we do this, which is, again, allowing these young men and women to be able to go out there and have those moments that we remember having, again, that were so special and formidable to us as we grew, not just in our lives, but in our careers. And to be able to watch him and to do that and to get to be a part of it. I can't tell you what a joy it was to sit there in the back of the room as they sort of having these Royal Rumble meetings. And I'm watching all these, young men and women that have come through our NXT doors here. And certainly for me to have a real, relationship and hands-on sort of piece of their careers. It's just, it really is. It's, it's hard to think that, you have something better than the time you were in the ring, your ring days. You feel like it's all over. But I'll tell you what, this other side has just been so incredibly rewarding. And obviously, looking forward to, Sunday, February 4th here at Vengeance Day for, again, these young men and women to come up here and, come to Tennessee and show you all what it's like.
Absolutely. Again, you can still grab tickets, Ticketmaster.com. Get those tickets immediately starting at $20. And you talk about being able to shape that roster on the NXT, the younger generation coming up. And, after the Rumble, a lot of people were pretty pumped about it. Bron Breakker gave kind of a little short interview and indicated that the main roster was his home now. Should we consider that an official call up for the former NXT champion?
Well, look, he may feel like that's his home, but he's still got work here in NXT to do, whether he likes it or not.
Yeah.
So look,
yeah.
I'll tell you this much. Look, I'm always, that's strange enough. That's our job, right? Our job is to lose talent. But I got to tell you, he's one that I'm gonna have trouble letting him go. So look, I can assure you that there is more left for Bron Breakker here in NXT, one way or another, and so he's an incredibly talented, very gifted young man. As far as I'm concerned, he's young and, as we say, full of piss and vinegar. So he can, if he wants to double time it, he can certainly do it. But I'm not letting him go that easy.
Yeah, makes sense.
Sure. Well, Shawn, I know you're a busy man. You got to make the rounds today and go all over the place talking to media. And we just want to say thank you once again for taking the time out. It is an honor to have you on the show. As you can tell, I'm a big Mark. I've got 2 of your Funko signed behind me. Hopefully we can meet up Sunday and I can say hi in person instead of buying these through other people. So
that would be wonderful. And again, seriously, yeah, you guys are welcome anytime. And as always, thank you all so much for helping us out on these. We really appreciate it.
Well, Shawn, it is an honor to have you on the show with us today. And again, Vengeance Day this Sunday in Clarksville. Grab your tickets now. F&M Bank Arena, Ticketmaster.com, starting at $20. I'm not going to be one of those guys and say, well, I got 2 words for you, because I know that you probably get that a lot. But I will say I do have 2 words for you. Vengeance Day. Well, Sunday. That's 3 words. I'm sorry. I completely messed it up. Shawn, it's an honor to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you, guys. And make sure you stop by.